So today I'm doing a lab analyzing my Gmail messages. I'm in my spam message right now. As you can see, I have a total of 36 messages. The good thing about Gmail, it uses internal filtering rules to decide where a message should land. The primary, of course, is the main inbox, promotions, updates, spam. So for this particular project, we'll be working out of my spam email, and I have a total of 36. Um, and this is where many people misunderstand email behavior. Even if a message is legitimate, Gmail may route it based on the authentication alignment, sender reputation, sending IP behavior, the user's history. Have you opened these before? Content signals, links, images, templates, unsubscribe headers, bulk mail fingerprints. Um, Think about when authentication is broken, even slightly, Gmail will often play it safe. This is where your Gmail filter setting becomes powerful. You can create custom rules to keep important but imperfectly configured emails out of spam or promotions. Some of the ways you can do is by filter by sender address. You can filter it by return path domain. You can filter it by subject keywords, filter by mail list ID. You can have it automatically marked as not spam or apply labels so they're easy to find. And these are helpful for newsletters you actually want. So in particular, for my setup, these are all marketing or promotions, or some of them might be spam, but I can tell that they are legit to show up in my spam. Xfinity, for example, they run a premium unlimited, so it is a promotion. So it's rightfully so to be in spam and not my primary inbox. We have this one here. It's a 2000 cyber career system. So we'll do a test trial on this. So I'll open this email. Has my name for the next 48 hours. But again, I don't want to report as not spam. I know it's spam, but before doing so, I'll click here on these three dots, and I'll go and say show original, and this will show me the original messages, the header. So in here it gives you the message ID, and the date it was created, Wednesday, November 19th, 2025 at 1:45 p.m. and who it's from, to the subject, and it passed SPF, it passed DKIM or DKIM, and then DMARC it also passed. So for folks like myself in the beginning, I didn't understand what an SPF was or what DKIM was or DMARC. So if you're not in the industry, you probably won't know what these are. This was me some time ago, but now that I know exactly what they are and what they do, SPF mainly stands for Sender Policy Framework. It helps stop email spoofing by verifying that the server sending an email is allowed to send on behalf of the domain. So Boyd and his domain, which is boydcdlewis.com, is a legit domain. So that means he has this domain with either GoDaddy or whatever. But it's legit, and that's why it passed. And this is the IP address, the Internet Protocol address, which is 159.112.241.41. And DKIM, or DKIM, which stands for Domain Keys Identified Mail, it proves that the mail came from the right domain and that no one changed it along the way. It's a private cryptographic key. It's basically a digital signature. So it wasn't altered, it wasn't forwarded from another domain or another address. So it came directly from this domain. And then the DMARC, uh, which is domain-based message authentication, reporting, and confirmance. It's an email authentication protocol that works together with SPF and DKIM to decide how to handle suspicious emails and send reports back to the domain owner. So if this was illegitimate, um, this person, boy, would get a notification. So that's just the header. It's received by. These are called the received lines. These lines show the path the email took across different mail servers. Each server adds its own received lines as the mail passes through it. So this means that Google Mail Server got the message on Wednesday, 19th November 2025, 2022 hour and 40 minutes and 22 seconds. And here you have XGoogle SMTP, which SMTP stands for Simple Mail Transfer Protocol. These are Google's internal tracking entries. They help verify where the email originally came from and help detect spoof or fake emails. Not something you need to worry about, just part of how Google checks authenticity. And then here you have ARC seal and ARC messages. ARC is basically authenticate. It stands for authenticated received chain. It's a chain of trust. It helps Gmail verify whether the email passed authentication checks as it moved through different mail server. If ARC is present, it usually means the email was forwarded at some point, and Gmail wants to ensure it's legitimate. And then here you have the I equals 1, A equals RSA, SHA-256. So this basically just describes the type of cryptographic signature used. It's not really of importance, but it's there. And then you have the DKIM signature, DKIM signature again. Um, DKIM stands for Domain Keys Identify Mail. This is an important one because it's a digital signature that's added by the sending email server. It proves the message really came from the domain it claims. So here, as you can see, it came from boydclewis.com. So it is a legit email. All that being said, one of the other tools that I wanted to use just to verify and get more in depth, if I wanted to dive more into this, copy here, copy to clipboard, come here. It's a tool that I like to use. It's called MX Toolbox. And what I use this for, you can use for several reasons. If you want to find out if email or a domain has been blacklisted, if you want to look up the DMARC. But for me in particular, I want to analyze that header a little bit further. So I'll paste on a document that I had just copied. Another way of looking more in depth and doing further investigation. So as you can see here, the DMARC compliant checks out, the SPF checks out, SPF alignment. Again, SPF is Sender Policy Framework. It helps stop email spoofing by verifying that the server sending an email is allowed to send on behalf of the domain. So all that checks out except for when you come here, it says DKIM, DKIM authenticated. That one is there's not a check mark there pretty much. And then here's another thing that shows up: relay information received delay. So this pretty much is another something that you can look at. It says the message showed a 42,906-second delay. It was just nearly what 12 hours sitting on a mailgun relay before Gmail finally accepted it. This type of delay usually happens when the sending platform queues the message, the recipient's server temporary rate limits are differs, or the sending IP has low reputational throttling. This is a good reminder that not all spam-like behavior is malicious. Sometimes it's just the sender's reputational queue backlog. Um, and then when we come here, as far as the DKIM authenticated, not fail, is basically the reason being is that uh, the mailgun signed the email, but the DKIM signature did not match the domain in the form address. As a result, the DKIM authentication failed and then DKIM alignment failed as well. So this happens often when a domain hasn't configured custom DKIM keys inside Mailgun. The platform will sign using its default domain instead of the sender's domain. Um, but again, it did pass the DMARC compliant. And this is where it gets interesting. DMARC passed because SPF aligned correctly with the domain, and DMARC doesn't require both SPF and DKIM to align only one. So even with a DKIM failure, Gmail still treated the message as compliant. And Gmail filter logic is basically Gmail uses a mix of authentication results, sending IP reputation, domain reputation, content signals, engagement history, and then the user level filtering rules. So even though the DMARC passed, Gmail still may route the message into a promotion or spam if the sending IP is on a public blacklist, which this one happens to be, as you can see here. Um, for some odd reason, Uh, the message looks like a bulk campaign. The long relay delay signals low reputation behavior. In this case, the mailgun IP showed up on a blacklist during the relay hop, which heavily influences Gmail's filtering decision. And this explains why this particular email landed in my spam folder here, as you can see.